Hello and welcome. This is a quick introduction to the 30-minute profit multiplier program, QuickStart program. It is an extract of the profit multiplier program where we ask candidates to try something out as a short exercise just to see if they can understand the principles involved and get some early benefits so that we can start working straight away and getting some returns for them. Who am I? My name's Gordon De Silva. I run a business called Gordon's Night. We're a multi-award winning firm of chartered accountants. We are online accountants of the year this year. We've written a best-selling international book on Amazon called Profit Propeller. We're featured in a book called UK's Best Accounting Firms. We've written several other books on marketing and understanding finances. And I am personally very successful. I've run my own business, so I understand what it's like. I understand the trials and tribulations. I understand the challenges of running a business. So in that respect, I am just like you. But you can find out more about my background by looking online and stuff. And if you really want to know, you can ask me. And what I do is practice what I preach. So when I talk to you about these are principles that have worked for me for years and continue to work for me and my clients. And so, if you would like to benefit from that experience and knowledge from someone who's actually working in the field rather than from someone who's read it in the book, then this may just be for you. So let's look at what it takes to achieve your ambitions. I've drawn a little graph here, and often when clients come to see me, they tell me they have an income ambition. It may be to earn more than they were earning as a job. It may be to be their own boss. It may be to have a better quality lifestyle, to afford better things for themselves and their family, their children, to go on better holidays or more holidays, to have more control over their time. But typically most of those things are born out of an income ambition, which satisfies a lot of the other bits we've just talked about. Yet when they get into business, or 2 or 3 years on, they find that their performance in earning is represented by this red line. It's not as steep towards their income ambition as they would like, and as a result they're really not getting to where they want to be. And it's been a few years. If it's your first year, then you would expect not to reach your ambition in the first year. But if the trajectory of your profitability and your income is not rising quickly towards your income ambition, then probably it's time to sort of look at what may be going wrong and how you can change that acceleration towards your income ambition and achieve it. So the opportunity here is to really take action now. So I'm assuming that now is where this purple line sort of joins the red, and because of the work you do through the profit multiplier program, your profit trajectory just takes an upward slope and gets to your income goals much earlier, much quicker than otherwise you might do. So it might still get there, but it might take years, in which case inflation may be eroding the value, right? So if you take action now, we can look at increasing the rate of acceleration of your profitability and your income, and thereby get your income aspirations faster. So what if you leave it for a year? You may go, well, I'll give it 1 more year. Well, just say you left it 1 more year and it doesn't accelerate, because I suspect you're not sitting around doing nothing, right? I suspect you're doing everything you know how to do to increase your profits, to increase your income, to grow your business. So I'm expecting you not to be sitting around, not using the information you currently have and the knowledge you currently have in growing your business. So if you then in a year's time look for help, then of course you'll get the same trajectory, but now you've you're starting a year later or 2 years later or 3 years later. I haven't put timescales on this. It could be anything from 6 months, a year, 5 years. It doesn't really matter, but the principles are what's important here. So what you then lose out on is this gap here between in any point in time where you would be and where you are, where what you've lost in terms of not getting the acceleration earlier. And depending on if you don't do it at all, you're losing ground significantly. Now, that could be £10,000. It could be £20,000. This gap. It could be £50,000. It could be much more. But all I'm saying is there's a gap, and unless you do something different, and if you keep doing what you currently are doing and know what to do, the gap is going to be significant. Okay. So let me pause there for a second and tell me your thoughts so far. Just get a piece of paper and just write down your thoughts on this, the principles of where you are now. How many years have you been on this low profit growth trajectory? If you're on a high profit growth, you're obviously not interested in this video. But if you're on a low profit trajectory, you're not achieving your income goals. What are your thoughts on where, do you start now? Do you leave it for a year or 2 or 3 years and see what happens and see if something magical happens and all of a sudden your business suddenly takes off? Or do you make sure you get the income acceleration that you desire by doing the right things? Now, I'm not suggesting that I know more than you about your business, but I do understand business and I understand business principles, and I'll go through that in a second. So just make some notes of your thoughts so far based on this graph. How do you feel about your profit growth? Are you really happy with your profit growth? Are you really not doing things you should be doing and you should be doing? Are there things that you should be doing that you're not doing? And in that case, why is that? Are you purposely jeopardizing your profits by not doing stuff? Are you sitting around wasting time? I suspect none of those things are true, right? So just write down some of your thoughts. And when you're ready, let's get back into this introduction. So let's look at what the problem is. The problem is where we are now. We know, right? We know what we've achieved, and if you have decent accounts, you'll know within weeks where you are now. But you will also, I suspect, you may or may not have written it down, but you will have in your mind what you'd like to earn, what you'd like your business to sell, what you'd like your profits to be, what you'd like your tax bill to be. I remember thinking once, I'd love to pay £1 million in tax, or even £500,000, and because it demonstrates that you've earned a lot of money, right? So that is quite common, that people know where they are now because they've got a hold of their finances. They really understand with their accounts. They know how much money they've made in the last year, and they know that within a few weeks off the end of the year. They know it every month maybe, because they're managing their figures really well. And if they're not, they should ask themselves, is that really a way to run their business? They also know where their target is. So they know what they'd like to earn, they know how much income they'd like to have, how much they'd like to put away, how much they'd like to spend on holidays, on their family, on their children, what sort of quality of life they'd like to have, and so on. They have that information to hand. So while I'm talking, you're already thinking, I know where I am and I know where I want to go. And you may or may not have written those two numbers down. So then, the reason why you're not getting to your target, and we've established that you're only watching this video if you're not getting to your target fast, you're not building your profits quickly. If you're not getting to your targets, I suspect it's not because you're not working hard. I suspect what happens is, we work really hard, but as the most common things I find in business owners is they work hard, but they rely on on wishing they would achieve their target, on wishing things would change, on wishing their profits would increase, on hoping things would happen differently, on hoping that they would get better cash flow, on wishing they had more luck. And these are not things that I would recommend in a business setting, because it really doesn't pay to rely on this sort of wishy-washy thinking. I think you would agree. And so what is the possible solution to that? And the possible solution is that we're not linking our trajectory from now to our target with a series of actions. And if we don't link our activity to actions to achieve that target, if we don't change things on a regular basis to achieve that target, then what's going to happen is we're going to keep doing the same thing we've done, and we'll just work harder, and working harder. There is a limit to how hard you can work. There's only 24 hours a day, and you can't work all of those. You need some sleep, and you need some rest, and you need to recharge batteries and stuff. But you need to take those actions. You need to understand what those actions are. Importantly, you also need to track what effect those actions are having. Are they taking you closer to your target, or are they having no effect, or are they having a detrimental effect? And of course, you want to minimize the ones that are having a detrimental effect, and you want to maximize the ones that are having a positive effect and do more of them, and then try something else. Keep doing the things that are working and just add new things to it until you begin to build your profitability acceleration and achieve your target faster. So that's the first thing. And the target, I don't mind having a 5-year target and a 3-year target, but ultimately we need to get shorter term, because 5 years is a long time to look forward. I would rather look 12 months forward and then really focus on the next 3 months and saying, to get to 12 months, to get to 5 years, we've got to get to 12 months first. In the 12 months, we need to achieve this, and in the next month, in the next quarter, we want to achieve that. In the next month, we want to achieve that. In the next week, we want to take these actions, and we want to track them. This is what the program is all about. And by consistently tracking and taking more actions, tracking and adjusting actions, tracking and developing new actions, you begin to accelerate your performance and get your profit acceleration through to your target. So that's really the thought. So let me ask you, what are your thoughts so far from what I've said? We've talked about from getting from now to where your ambitions lie. We've talked about why we don't sometimes achieve that. It's not because we're not working hard, but too often we're just wishing it. We're hoping on luck, and luck improves. These are not things that good business people would rely on. Luck is an added bonus, and hoping and stuff is okay, but you've got to take significant and rapid action tracking the results, and different action to what's getting the results you're getting now, because what you're doing now is getting the results you're getting. If you keep doing what you're doing, you'll get the same results. You've got to do something different, and that is where a different mind comes into the fray. That's why adding somebody else's knowledge to your knowledge multiplies the benefits that you get through your business. So have a think. Just write down your thoughts so far based on what we've said so far. Just where are your thoughts? Do you believe that this has a merit, this methodology of getting your target by taking actions and tracking them, but not looking too far out, but tracking them on a quarterly, monthly, weekly basis, because we can actually see far enough ahead for a week or a month to make a difference, right? So we're now going to talk about who the program may be for, who may want to look at this and who may not want to look at this. And I'm going to go through this quite quickly, because a lot of them are reasonably obvious, and I don't want to spend huge amounts of time going through the obvious. So let's look at this. Who is it for? Clearly, this is for ambitious business owners who are not beaten up by lack of performance and lack of achievement. Some business people I meet, they're so tired fighting to achieve their goals, they've actually given up, even hoping they'd get there, and that's they've closed their mind to that option, and as a result, they've stopped trying. They're going to just carry on doing what they do until they retire, and such is life, and that is a terrible waste. These people are experiencing stuck profits. Their profits are maybe growing by 3, 4, 5, 10%, not by 15, 20, 30%, 50%. They're typically working too many hours. They may be working 40 to 80 hours a week. And you didn't go into business to work that many hours. You were already working 40 hours and getting paid a salary. You probably didn't start your own business with all the extra stress, risks, and so on, to work more hours. Your income growth, your personal income growth is inadequate. Your personal income that you have to spend is not growing at this pace that you'd like it to grow to afford the things you'd like for you and your family and your future. You're experiencing cash flow issues maybe. You can't afford to pay tax bills when they come up every now and again. You can't afford the holiday you really want, or taking money out for yourself, and you've got to rely on credit cards and stuff. It may be cash flow issues. You may have problems with your team. You may have lack of control over business results. You may just find your business results just happen, and you don't control, you have no control over where you are, how much cash you've got in the bank, how much is yours, what liabilities are coming up, what's there to pay, all of that. You don't have any control of that, and that makes you feel a bit nervous, a bit exposed. Maybe you have a lack of understanding why you're in this position, why it's not achieving the results while you're working so hard. You're as good as anyone in the marketplace you're in, yet you're not earning as much as some other people in the marketplace. In every marketplace, there are super performers, there are average performers and languishing performers, and then there are people who are just struggling. It may be that you're distracted, that you too many things to do, and you get distracted really easily with all the stuff that comes in. We've got phone calls, texts, email, websites, videos, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, the whole works. Maybe you're distracted by all of those things. There's just too many things to do, and you keep getting pulled from pillar to post. Maybe you're experiencing productivity issues. You're just not getting enough in the days, that your to-do list is far greater. And by the way, that's not an unusual thing, and it's nothing that'll ever go away. I'm not suggesting you'll ever have a to-do list that's smaller than your time, but it's always focusing on what you should do. You may find you've got too many things on your to-do list, that you're not achieving what you really should do to grow your business every day. You may want more control over your life, over your business, over your cash flow, and you may just want to feel more fulfilled, happier with your performance, happier with your business. Fall in love with your business once more. Fall in love with what you did. Get back in touch with why you started the business. So that's really who the program may be for. If some of these are you, then you may think, well, this may be for me. Who is it not for? Let's really drill down into this, because this is not for everyone. We're not trying to be for everyone. There's a whole load of businesses that I can never work with because their mindset is so locked in. So these are businesses. Let's go through that list on the right. Business owners who are happy with their performance. They're happy with what they're doing. They're happy with the money they're getting. They're happy with the growth. They're growing at over 15%. Their sales are growing over 15% per year. Their profits are growing at over 20% per year. They're working under 40 hours a week. If you're doing that, then you're probably going to be really quite happy with your performance. Your personal income is greater than you need, so you can put things away for rainy days. You can put things away for your retirement. You can put things away for the treat at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year. You have that. You have a great holiday with the family. We, for example, I took my family to a safari this year. It was a once in a lifetime trip, and it was so good to be able to have that time together with them, without the internet, without mobile phones, just to be able to share some really interesting experiences, really fun experiences with them. That was really cool. You may be having great team performance. Your team's working really well. They all follow instructions. They do things the way you want them to do them. this is not for someone who doesn't think they need help from anyone. If you don't think you need help from anyone, I'm not the person to convince you you do. So please, you shouldn't be watching this video. If you don't need help from anyone, you don't need help from me. If you don't see the need to do something different, then this is not for you. Because if you do the same thing and you feel that doing something different is unnecessary and impossible, and if you really 100% believe that, I'm not here to change your mind, right? I'm here for someone who has that doubt that there may be something they haven't tried, that if they try, they could accelerate their business growth. That's what I'm looking for, not for people who are really stuck in their thinking. And it's not for you if you're really focused and disciplined. You do everything you should be doing. You do the most important things first. You get things done. You have your key things on your to-do list ticked off every day, every week, every month. You achieve the targets you want. You achieve the new projects. You're doing new things. You're disciplined in doing that. I'm not. I am absolutely not focused and disciplined. I need help, and I have help from my coaches and mentors to help me achieve what I want to achieve. And my mentors and coaches push me to do this program and launch it again for new clients this year. Had I not been pushed, Christmas, I would have got a bit lazy for Christmas and just turned off the phones and just relaxed. But here I am, I'm pushing forward because I want to do it, and I'm kept focused and disciplined by people behind me. So those are my thoughts on who is it for and who is it not for. So if it's not for you, please, I'm sorry I wasted your time on this video so far. If it is for you, then maybe we'll go to the next step. And the next step may be to contact us for the 30-minute Profit Multiplier Quick Start program. It's a really easy starter guide to getting your targets and actions listed down. Now, I don't necessarily expect you to follow through on them, because that's where discipline and focus comes in. But if you do, you definitely don't need me, because if you set the goals, you set the actions, you set the feedback loops we talked about, and you go to work on knocking out these projects that do something different, that grow your business sales, that grow your business margins, that grow your business profits, and then by definition, you have the income you need to live a much more fulfilling and happier life. In that case, this has worked for you and you are cooking on gas. However, if you get this program, it'll give you an idea of how powerful it is just to get the principles. And if you like what you've heard so far, you're going to want to get started with something, because when if we do talk about the Profit Multiplier program, I will ask you to do this first, as the first in, to make sure that you're willing to get the momentum into your business, because we've got to build momentum fast, because there's so many things we want to do with your business. There's a lot of low-hanging fruits we can get involved with and exploit. There's opportunities we can look at straight away, but if we don't get started quickly, then momentum starts to drag, and you then become despondent. I get despondent, and we stop working together. I want, if we do work together, I want it to be super thrilling. I want it to be super effective, and to do that, we want to make sure that we hit the ground running, and this is a great way. 30 minutes is all it takes. So how does it work? You download this workbook. You will apply for the course. It's £199 plus VAT. You apply for it, you pay the £199 plus VAT. It comes with a 3-month guarantee. If you do what you say you're going to do on the actions you set at the beginning, and you implement the actions over the quarter, and it doesn't work for you and your income doesn't grow by at least 10% and covers the £199 3 times over, then by all means just say, it didn't work for me, show me what you did, and have your money back. I'm really happy to give you your money back, because I don't want anyone on the program who doesn't benefit and doesn't increase their income by at least 3 times what they pay me. That's absolutely essential. So you download the workbook, you then watch the videos. It tells you how to complete the workbook, and that's your fast in. It takes 30 minutes to complete the workbook. You'll have some action plans as a result of that. You'll have some dates by when to do it. You'll have some accountabilities of who's going to do it, either you or somebody in your team. And then if you decide you want someone to help you hold you accountable to it, then give us a call and we'll talk about the program and how to hold you accountable to these tasks. And more than that, we'll help tweak them for you and help you become even more successful in even less time. So there you have it. There's the introduction to the Profit Multiplier Quick Start program. If you'd like to know more, click on the button below. If I've given you something to think about, that's fantastic. If it's not for you, that's good as well, because what I don't want to do is waste your time any further in undertaking this work, and or mine, to be fair. And so I look forward, if it's right for you, to working with you. If it's not, I wish you every success, because you deserve it. As a business people, as a business person, as business people, we work really hard. We're some of the hardest workers on the planet. We deserve all the success we get, and sometimes we don't get the success we deserve because we're not quite doing the right things, and this is what this program's about. Take care of yourself, and I wish you every success. This is Gordon De Silva signing out. See you on the inside if we work together. Take care. Bye-bye.